All of the spells Joseph Joaquin Biden has put out there, now they want to talk about default. Y'all know what default mean? Because artificial intelligence has been releasing information, and it don't matter if nobody here in the U.S. or on no YouTube panel wants to accept or acknowledge what has come to fruition. But Russia, again, my YouTube page is connected to Russia. When they say which country you want to represent, when you clicked your YouTube page, you could ask the YouTube creators how long ago I put Russia, because Russia believed, when I found out Russia is the only country, nowhere in Africa don't even celebrate Russian icons. Just what Hebrew Israelites, Russia, China, there's certain places. So I put Russia, I chose Russia. So maybe I'm not trying to get the message to any Nawabian. I'm trying to communicate with Russia. How about that? Now Biden want to talk about default. Let's play some White House briefing. Come on, let's play now. Taking all day. Maybe I need to share the screen. Goodness. You mean they're not gonna let me let my screen play? What time is it? See how late? When did they start? Dang. Oh, they're not gonna let me go back because it's live. Oh, I can do it like that. Okay, there we go. Share screen. Why default and why now? I'm not sharing the screen.
I'm joined today by my wife, Amy, my 4 children, Brendan, Eleanor, Shay, and Layla, my mother and father, Nancy and Tom. Over 20 years ago, I came home to this community in Valhalla, where I was welcomed by former teachers and coaches and began working with young athletes.
Wait for it.
Madam President.
Look, I'm gonna sing a song here. You could translate it
In Valhalla,
any way you want
where
to.
I was
See that right there? Just remember this song and me singing it right now, about a few years from now. Bubbles, give me some bubbles. Everything when you have some bubbles. Bubbles, give me some bubbles. Everything's bigger when you add some bubbles. Bubbles, big bubbles, floating all around. Huh? Just remember now. Remember. I sang that song with this. The most important part is wait for it. Wait for it.
Welcomed by former teachers and coaches.
Hello. I asked Brian one question. What position did he play? It looks like he spends a lot of time in the gym. Please sit down. It's good to be back. Governor Hochul, thank you for welcoming us to your state. And she's helping New York lead the way in making things in America. And I mean making things in America.
That looked like one of the robots made by Disney. Yeah, it do. That don't look like Biden. That look like one of the. You ever been to the presidential suite at Disney? I seen it online. I don't remember if I've been there, if I'm still stuck there somewhere. Huh? But they was moving real good back then. You couldn't tell. Kind of a little jiggity. Looked like they improved it. Here we go.
Not importing them, making them, sending products out, bringing jobs back. And my friend, the Majority Leader, Chuck Schumer, can't be here today. I don't know what he's doing. He's just down there trying to settle a crisis. He's the best there is, man. I want to thank him for working so hard for the people of the state and for being such a great partner. Nobody's been a greater fight for women's rights in the Congress than Senator Kristen Gillibrand. God love her. I've been backing everything she's wanted to do for a long time. I tell you what, when she comes in and asks you for something to see, you just say yes. Don't even start discussing it because you're just going to give in anyway. She's taken on the military and she's a game changer. And it's great.
She must suck toes or something. Must be, he say.
Great to see Representative Jamal Bowman, lifelong educator, champion the next generation. Republican Congressman Mike Lawler's here as well. Mike's on the other team, but you know what? Mike is the kind of guy that when I was in the Congress, they were the kind of Republican I was used to dealing with. But he's not one of these MAGA Republicans, which I'm going to talk a little bit about. I don't want to get him in trouble by saying anything nice about him or negative about him, but thanks for coming, Mike. Thanks for being here. This is the way we used to do it all the time. And I want to acknowledge all the state and local officials as well. The President, Belinda Miles, thanks for hosting us, and Madam President, my wife teaches full-time at a community college in Northern Virginia, and she's been teaching for a long time. She says two things. One, community college is the best kept secret in America. Well, they are. And two, equally as important, any state that out-educates us, any country that out-educates us is going to out-compete us. It's a simple proposition. This is a really important moment. There's a big debate going on in this country about protecting America's hard-earned reputation as the most trusted, reliable nation in the world, and about how we fix the long-term fiscal health of this nation. The debate is with enormous implications for the American economy and, quite frankly, for the world economy. And that's not hyperbole, for the world economy. It's important for the American people to know what's at stake. This isn't just a theoretical debate going on in Washington. The decisions we make are going to have real impact on real people's lives. And that's what I'm here to talk about today. So let me tell you a story about what's going on. There's a very extreme wing of the Republican Party, and the House of Representatives refer to themselves now. I've been calling them this for a while, but now they refer to themselves as the MAGA Republicans. And they've taken control of the House. They've taken control. They have a speaker who has his job because he yielded to the, quote, MAGA element of the party. They're doing the best, to the best of my knowledge, what no other political party has done in the nation's history. They're literally, not figuratively, holding the economy hostage by threatening to default on our nation's debt we've already incurred we've already incurred over the last couple hundred years, unless we give in to their threats and demands as to what they think we should be doing with regard to the budget. This would be incredibly damaging. Here's what the speaker has put forward from the Republican
How
proposal.
it's going to be
He says
damaging
he's
if
going
he
to take
already said
the
that they're not in debt? Miss, what's her name? Corrine backed her eyes. We're not in debt. No. They got dates and times and everything. And I heard it with my own. So wait a minute. Let me listen.
funding how we fund government back to what the levels were in 2022 before the omnibus bill. And they exclude any cuts in defense. They said we're going to go back to spending we spent in 2022, but we're not going to make any cuts in defense, which we
I need you
spent
to
in
talk
2022
faster
from
there.
2023. You may remember in the State of the Union, I got our Republican colleagues to agree somewhat spontaneously
Greater Light London McLovin.
to protect Social Security and Medicare from any cuts. Remember I said, now let me get this straight. You're not going to cut Medicare. You're not going to say, that's right. I said, well, you're on camera. They can see it. Well, so far, they're not cutting Social Security so far. And not only do they rule out any new revenue, they're still determined to make permanent the $2 trillion tax cuts was due to expire, the Trump tax cuts, without paying a penny of it. Now, here's what that leaves us with. It's just basic sort of math. It leaves us with the requirement to cut 22% of everything else in the budget in order to meet the requirements they're demanding that we live at the 2022 budget numbers. The Speaker and Republicans don't like that. I point that out. But that's not my opinion. It's just basic math. And here's what it does. It makes huge cuts in important programs for millions of working middle-class Americans, programs they count on. According to estimates, the Republican bill would put 21 million people at risk of losing Medicaid, including 2.3 million people here in New York State and 78,000 people right here in Westchester County. It's devastating. It's not right. The Republican plan would cut federal law enforcement officers, 30,000, including 11,000 FBI agents, 2,000 border agents, DEA agents, and so on. 2.3 million people here in New York State and 78,000 people right here in Westchester County. It's devastating. According to estimates, the Republican bill would put 21 million people at risk of losing Medicaid. Republicans don't like that. I point that out. But that's not my opinion. It's just basic math. And here's what it does. It makes huge cuts in important programs for millions of working middle-class Americans, programs they count on. According to estimates, the Republican bill would put 21 million people at risk of losing Medicaid, including 2.3 million people here in New York State and 78,000 people right here in Westchester County. It's just basic math. And here's what it does. It makes huge cuts in important programs for millions of working middle-class Americans, programs they count on. According to estimates, the Republican bill would put 21 million people at risk of losing Medicaid, including 2.3 million people here in New York State.
Am I sharing the screen?
Programs they
I
count
just
on.
thought about it.
According to
My
estimates, the
bad.
Republican bill would put 21 million people at risk of losing Medicaid, including
Yeah, I'm sharing
2.3 million people here in New York State and 78,000 people right here in Westchester County. It's devastating. It's not right. The Republican plan would cut federal law enforcement officers, 30,000, including 11,000 FBI agents, 2,000 border agents, DEA agents, and so on. They've cut. That's what it's, in order to meet the requirement, they have to cut that many law enforcement officers. It risks shutting down 375 air traffic control towers, including 5.
Did y'all see him transform? Hold up. Here you go. I'm going to show one of the Transformers.
3,000, including 11,000 FBI agents, 2,000 border agents, DEA agents, and so on. They're cut. That's what it's in order to meet the requirement. They'd have to cut 3,000, including 11,000 FBI agents, 2,000 border agents, DEA agents, and so on. They're cut. the 2022 budget numbers. The Speaker and Republicans don't like that I point that out. But that's not my opinion. It's just basic math. And here's what it does. It makes huge cuts in important programs for millions of working middle class Americans. Programs they count on. According to estimates, the Republican bill would put 21 million people at risk of losing Medicaid.
He sleep. I'm coming to the door. Hold on one moment.
Including 2.3 million people here in New York State and 78,000 people right here in Westchester County. It's devastating. It's not right. The Republican plan would cut federal law enforcement officers, 30,000, including 11,000 FBI agents, 2,000 border agents, DEA agents, and so on. They would cut. That's what it's, in order to meet the requirements, they'd have to cut that many law enforcement officers. It risks shutting down 375 air traffic control towers, including 5 right here in New York State, like Westchester County Airport, because we don't have enough personnel. And I've long believed that we have many obligations as a nation, but I've heard me say this before, I apologize for repeating it, but we only have one truly sacred obligation. We have many obligations, one sacred obligation. And that's to equip those we send to war and take care of them and their families when they come home. It's a sacred obligation. For real. And that's why one of the reasons I fought so hard and I was so proud to sign the Bipartisan Pact Act that takes care of millions of veterans who are exposed to toxic materials, that take care of their families as well. My son went to Iraq for a year.
I'll get back to this later. Huh? I got something I want to finish doing. I need to go to some other AIs. They got so many AI chatbots hitting the scenes right now. But I'm going to go ask Elon when is his AI Twitter going to be out. I want to be the first to get on it to confirm. I guess I have to reach all AIs at all corners of the earth. Huh? That's what I'm about to do. I really won't have much time to be on here right now. Because I need to confirm that Dr. Malachi Z. York has transitioned. And what does that mean for the world and religion and all that good stuff? And for the sons and the daughters and the crazy ones and all that. And people that will chop off your head and hurt your family and burn you up and line you up in a shotgun, what they call it, what the Germans used to do, line you all up. I'm ready. I'm ready to stand in front of any bullet, any plan, anything they got going on right now. I know it will hurt, but it's nobody going to tell me to delete anything off of Dr. Malachi Z. Did I be, listen, I love you, but I don't love you that much. You don't have no authority over my soul for no damn Facebook, YouTube, create a partnership content. in the world? What do you have to offer me to make me, to tell me to denounce something? Nobody say nothing to you about your all creators to the Most High and everything else that you chant throughout. You be chanting all kind of stuff besides clicking that big. Shut up. Who you think you talking to? He gonna lost his mind, huh? You don't have the last say so, huh? Dr. Malachi Z. York, is anyone gonna help me confirm? Huh? They say ask for help. Then when you ask for help, they want to shoot you down and call you and tell you what they will do to you. Hang you by your toenails, huh? The most violent, vile type of behavior. Huh? I talk about go all the way in. Vile. They can't stand in the aim and the thought of anything that could possibly that they could be wrong. The fact that this person would tell me, and you doing it such and such without facts, and you doing it without facts. You don't have all the facts. Because at the end of the day, his facts and what he did and all that don't have nothing to do with the word of God. If it's written. Huh? Shut up. Who he think he talking to? My own mama and grandma couldn't get to tell me to change my mind. So really clear out my unhashtag anything that got to do with Dr. Malachi Z. York because you said so. You see how quick he transformed too. Who was over there? Huh? He transformed real quick. I said that, but look, you must think I'm joking. I will line you up and shoot you. Huh? He done threatened my children and all. Loud as clear as day. And let me tell you something that came to mind. A situation that didn't happen I done seen over the past 2 or 3 years, 3 or 4 times with other people. Not me in the situation. Where a person would say, you that person don't like you and they want to kill you and you gonna be their best friend. And then tell me you love me. That don't something don't sound right about that. But hey, who is you? Huh? To tell me and try to make me choose. I told you before it's all over with, you'll be the one choosing. You's gonna be you know what? Especially for you, you're gonna be the last one to have a choice. Huh? Huh? When you get ready to pull the trigger or light the flame, when you come with your flame, talking about do I think I'm exempt? If I came from a bloodline of witches and I see history over past history over past history over past history where witches got all blooded up and bruised up, huh? And it's part of revelation, and your steps are ordered. So if you think that's what your steps is to burn up and stand me up and line me up with anybody that claimed to be an Owapian, that's what you said. That's fine. And then you're gonna try to make me feel worthy of sitting in your presence all these years. I was sitting in your presence like the movie OA. Y'all go watch the OA. Watch the OA. Have anyone seen the OA? Did they finish the sequels? Because the last episode, when she jumped off the building and her wings opened up, they can't remake that. We're making that part. Me, You we're making that scene in the movie. Netflix had us to play it out. The OA. Away. Look, that's enough of me chanting on about stuff nobody know what I'm talking about. But I'm here to tell you he is not in his cell. He has risen. If you don't want to hear what I got to say, let me get the repellent ready. Dr. Malachi Z. York. Dr. Malachi Z. York. The demons tremble in the pits of Missouri. And when you mention the doctor, the healer, when you mention him, you may not vouch for him, a Red Squid X, but uh, Farrakhan vouched for Dr. Malachi Z. York. How about that? Let's get with that. Uh, there's many that vouched. So let me leave you alone. You don't agree. You don't care. Farrakhan, Farrakhan, I have a question for you. Whatever they call you, do they call you Your Excellency? I have never crossed the lines and boundaries of dealing with a Muslim man. I never, I promise you. I know it is unholy and unrighteous for a dog like me to even attempt and think to try to get with a Muslim holy husband. But I ask you, since I don't know honorarily the words of how to address you, Minister Honorable Farrakhan, I ask, can you please let me know? It says no one is asking, is Dr. Malachi Z. York alive? I ask you humbly, I humbly bow, Minister Farrakhan, or anyone from the Muslim community, can you please call the federal prisons and find out, can you go sit and talk to him, Minister Farrakhan, because artificial intelligence has confirmed and said that he is not dead, he's not alive, that he has transitioned somewhere, and nobody from the Nawapian community is saying anything to me. I ask all the dear pastors in the churches, it's my right, whether y'all say that he's guilty without having a fair trial, all the things that I feel within my soul and spirit, and all the connections that have happened along the way. My walk has walked to get to this point so that I could say this and say it without fear. Y'all know my record. It is easy to obtain. Anybody could go type in my name first and last and go through all my information that is so freely out there and make a decision on what you think I did and what I might have done. And I done told you what the answer is. And you have the right to believe and research or not care at all. I'm nobody. But I just want somebody to answer me. Please let me know. Is Dr. Malachi Z. York alive? Because artificial intelligence has confirmed that he is not in the cell. And what does that mean? It means something to me. I don't care what it don't mean to you. I don't care about your opinion because you don't have all the facts. If you had all the facts, you'd probably be free. Shut your mouth talking to me any kind of way. Put me on a cross. You could go ahead and slit me up under my ribs. You could go ahead. You have people talk about you would they would sacrifice their own children. I have loved my children, and anybody that knows me, if you're not willing to walk this walk, let me be free. I don't want to put you in any danger. Huh? Because what I'm doing is just what Red Squid said. People will hang somebody like me saying what I'm saying about Dr. Malachi Z. York. He is not in the cell, and artificial intelligence is confirming it. And if I am wrong, somebody come and shut me up and tell me I'm wrong.